What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back into another video. Today's video, I'm gonna be discussing my issues and symptoms of Strepagus C. Just go with strep throat C because I don't know how to pronounce that. Strepagus C, strep throat C. And the reason I'm sharing this video is because I've had an episode with this for some time now, and actually it got a little bit worse than I expected. So I'm just gonna share my experience on what happened. I tried to look at videos on YouTube about people suffering from strep C to see group C, by the way, to see if they have any recommendations or any advice on how to take care of it. Of course, I was prescribed antibiotics right away when I went, but I just wanted to see if people, were sharing something. I wanted to learn more about it. So without further ado, let me get into the video. So over the break, right, over the winter break, I started suffering from throat issues. Now I didn't know if it was my acid reflux because I do suffer from acid reflux, especially nowadays. It's been really, really bad. So for about a month now, I've been suffering from throat issues, throat feelings of globus, right? That throat feeling, the strep throat C, which I didn't know I had as well, and on top of that, just feeling this tightness in my throat, which has been so uncomfortable, right? Sometimes I get nervous and scared that I can't breathe, or I won't be able to breathe at night, which is unfortunate. It's just really, really bad. But I went to the urgent care for the first time. I talked to the doctor about what was happening. I knew I was sick. I didn't know what it was. I was telling them my symptoms, and some of my symptoms was that, right? My throat itching, or at least bothering me. I had a lot of soreness. The back of my throat is really red. But the dilemma here is, I think I'm also suffering from sleep apnea, and I know the back of my throat stays red because of this what I believe is a sleep apnea, right? I suffered from uveitis in the past before, where my uvula gets inflamed and very, like, it gets so long and sometimes thick, where sometimes when I'm breathing or I'm sleeping or I'm snoring at night, um, it just hurts and it grows and it gets inflamed. I didn't know until recently, in the past several years, that snoring is not normal. Like, it's not healthy. And I've snored for a long time, right? And I think as my issues and my health issues get worse, then also I feel like that shows out a little bit more than normal. So my throat was red. Told them my symptoms. I wasn't having any fever, anything. I feel like everything else was all right, typical symptoms when I get sick. But it was determined by her that it was a bacterial infection, upper respiratory infection, right? So I got put on antibiotics and I got put on amoxicillin. So I got that for about 7 days. I got tested for strep throat A and B, but that came back negative. So I was just like, okay, well, so it's not that. It's just an upper respiratory infection. Something's hitting, typical every year. Something's always hitting people different. So I took the antibiotics, but I felt like two things: either the antibiotics or the amoxicillin, the antibiotics or the strep throat group C, caused me to have something called balanitis, which is basically, you know, TMI, but penis redness and itchiness and stuff like that. I've suffered from that. I've talked about in my other channel. In my channel, I have another video that I'm probably dropping at the same time as this video to see what could have caused that issue. But I get more into that in my other video, my balanitis flare up video. And with this one, I'm just talking about my strep throat C, right? So that's something that happened while I was taking antibiotics, right? So for a week, I was feeling a little better. I was, recovering, blah, blah, blah. But 2 weeks later, I still was feeling the same symptoms. And I'm like, man, what's going on? Like, I'm gonna go back to the urgent care. So I went back to urgent care and I told them what happened. I was like, I've been here, something still in the back of my throat, something's happening. I'm trying to take PPIs, but taking PPIs for GERD, which is proton pump inhibitors for your GERD, you got to swallow that 30 minutes before, um, 30 minutes to an hour before, your meal, right? But for me, I can't swallow pills. So I'm trying to manage my acid reflux. And then on top of that, manage the quote unquote bacterial infection that I'm suffering from. So I went back, and this time around, instead of doing just a regular strep throat test, they did a bacterial culture in the back of my throat to see if I had something else, what type of bacteria I could have had. And that test takes a little bit longer than the regular strep throat A and B test. So it took several days, and I got it back on a Sunday, I believe. And it turned out when I looked at my chart that I tested positive for strep throat group C, and I don't think I've ever had that before. So I go online and look, what is it? What could have caused it? And I was reading, that it could come from animals. Even your dogs can carry it. And I was like, hold on, wait, what? I don't know where I got it from, if I'm being honest. I know I've been around other sick people, which I think that could have been it, but their symptoms were a little bit different from what they were describing because we were all coming out of our sickness when we hung out, but maybe something was lingering around within them, and then that got passed on to me, and I ended up getting sick. So the next day, I got prescribed antibiotics again. Now I don't remember. I forgot the second name of antibiotics, but I feel like I read that this type of antibiotic takes care of different type of bacteria around the body, and it can be prescribed for different reasons. And I guess it also helps with strep throat group C. And they saw that I had been prescribed amoxicillin, and I feel like that didn't help me too much. But this time around with this type of antibiotics, I feel like it's done a little bit of a better job with this. Right, I was put on a 10-day course. Now, it's important to remember when you take antibiotics that you have to take, the whole course. Although with me in my case, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, antibiotics hurt and bother my stomach a lot. Like I am very sensitive because I suffer from gastro issues already. So taking antibiotics, I mean, I feel different symptoms throughout the day sometimes. The bloatiness, uncomfortable. Sometimes I don't want to eat. Just feel full, gassy. You name it. Something feels off because it's very strong on your body, first of all, right? And also on your stomach. So it just feels off. So today is my last day of the 10-day course, right? And I hope that it took care of everything. Now I'm still suffering from throat issues and things of that nature. But I'm trying to figure out if it's still the bacteria or it's just now it's on me to manage my GERD and acid reflux issues so I won't keep having this throat. First of all, my throat hurting, the throat discomfort, the globus feeling, which is a tightness of your throat as if like somebody was choking you. There has been days where I feel like I somebody is choking me like here, and it's very scary. Now I do test and I do relax, and I'm like, let me check if I'm actually breathing, and and I'm okay, but that scares me. Part of the one of the symptoms that I also had was I had sinusitis, sinus, the inflammation of your sinuses. That I had that, and in Spanish I know how to pronounce it, sinusitis, but for some reason in English I'm struggling. Anyways, that has been a struggle with myself too. Breathing was hard for several days, maybe even a week or two. Like just breathing itself, I couldn't breathe. And because I was struggling to breathe through my nostrils, then the back of my throat was also hurting and getting inflamed because you're putting pressure on trying to breathe. And there was this point where I couldn't breathe through my nostrils, only my mouth. Again, I've never gotten this bad when it came to having inflammation of my nostrils and not being able to breathe, right? I I was thinking back if I've ever had or suffered from anything like this, and that was not the case. I've never really had been suffering from that. So again, a new symptom that I haven't experienced. Now in the past when I've gotten sick, have I had stuffy nose and stuff like? Yeah, I have, of course, but it hasn't lasted this long, right? Is it because I'm getting older and things are affecting me more? Maybe my health is not where it needs to be, which I know it's not because I've suffered from so many issues. But this time around, or could it just been the fact that this time I caught something new, strep throat, group C, maybe that made a difference and it was worse. So I'm trying to manage my symptoms as much as I can. If I made this video 2 weeks ago, my throat would have been killing me because it would have been hurting me so much. But now I feel like it's more manageable and I can do a little bit better with it. So this is why I'm making those videos now, right? But eventually now I feel okay. Don't feel the greatest, don't feel the best. But I am trying to see, now I have my physical soon, the yearly physical. I'm going to talk to my doctor to see if he can do another bacterial or at least throat culture to see if it's gone, because I at least wanted to know that it's gone. And then maybe now I can work on my sleep apnea and also my gastro issues, and at least reducing my reflux, so I won't be refluxing so much and that hurting the lining of my esophagus, my throat, my vocal cords, because I can definitely feel a difference and it's very, very uncomfortable. So that's the way I'm planning on managing it. I'll keep you guys updated on what's going on my later videos. But that was my experience with strep throat C. Let me know what was your experience, maybe what helped you. If you have any advice or ideas, I would love to hear them in the comment section. I will also attach the link to the video to my balanitis issues that I had, that I believe was either caused by my antibiotics intake or also my bacteria, right? That really could have been one or the other. I don't know, maybe both. Hard to know. Again, this is not medical advice. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just sharing my stories and my issues on what's been going on with me lately. And maybe that's why I haven't been posting a lot of videos, because it's been a struggle. I'm telling you, this throat issue had me bent. This throat issue over the past month and some change has not been the best. My gastro issues have not been the best. It's been a battle, but we got to keep our faith. We still got to thank God, even through the journey, through the struggle, through the storm, because this is a time where we get to practice our faith, right? Practicing faith when everything is going south and everything's going wrong is where your faith strengthens. And the Bible states that all the time. So if you guys have going through it as well, I feel you. You guys are not alone. Just take care of yourself, take care of each other. Um, keep praying, keep God in your thoughts, keep me in your thoughts, and everybody. And I always keep my YouTube channel in my prayers, and people that are suffering just like myself. So hopefully you guys got help from this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and if you are feeling generous, you can always become a member of my channel. It just helps me with my content, and it helps me grow for sure. But if anything, I hope it helped you guys in any way. And I will see you guys soon. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Peace and love, familia.